2025 kicked off the lowest home affordability levels the United States has ever seen. Fortunately for the wealthy, this hasn't been a concern, as the top 1% is now around 13 times more wealthy than the bottom 50% combined. As a matter of fact, things are so good for the rich that one billionaire in particular is building a home in South Florida that is going to be worth north of $1 billion. Yes, that is billion with a B. This will surpass the most expensive home currently listed in the U.S. for $295 million, which does sound quite measly in comparison. On the other hand of the spectrum, since 2000, the median home price rose by 162% compared to the median household income rising by only 78%. In other words, over the last 2.5 decades, home prices have risen 2.1 times faster than income. For young people like myself, home ownership is incredibly far out of reach. Growing up as a kid in the 2000s, we were taught that a good education and hard work would result in assured success. Fast forward to today, and as I look around at my fellow classmates, many of them have followed that advice, gotten college degrees, and have been working hard, yet for some reason they just can't seem to get ahead in life. An interesting study from 2017 found that only 50% of individuals born in the 80s made more than their parents, compared to 92% of those born in the 40s. So as wealth inequality rises to levels not seen since the Gilded Age, an era literally named to describe the period's superficial prosperity, which masked underlying corruption and inequality, one has to ask, is the American dream dead? Well, in my opinion, it depends how you define this dream. To me, the American dream is handing off a better America than you inherited. So, if you consider unreachable home affordability, declining real wages, suicides, and deaths of despair rates not seen since the Great Depression, the American dream, then I guess you could say it is alive and well. For us realists, however, we notice there is a major problem. Trump has been changing the political landscape by promoting this idea to make America great again, and the truth is that's exactly what we need to do. Decades of poor policies have resulted in the United States sacrificing good jobs for cheap Chinese imports that have destroyed the middle class and will continue doing so if nothing changes. As it turns out, borrowing money for cheap consumption at the expense of future generations is a recipe for disaster, and may be part of the reason why the United States' ranking on the World Happiness Index is collapsing. I'm hopeful Trump's tariffs will begin to swing the ball back to our court, but I'm also fearful that we may be too far gone. Time will tell. Fortunately, however, we can choose to take action and fight for the next generations to have hope of this dream returning. How, you might ask? Well, for starters, I think it's time that we stop encouraging our best and brightest kids to pursue a good-paying job for corporate America. The truth is, corporate America is destroying communities by extracting wealth from the locals and redistributing it to the wealthy. As I look around at my small town, more and more companies are selling out to corporate. If we want to preserve our good jobs, we need to fight to keep our companies locally owned, as local owners care not only about their employees, but also care about building a stronger community that stands united. Instead, we should be encouraging our youth to pursue starting their own businesses, utilizing their skill set to take on corporate America. As a local investor, it is an honor to be able to invest in local friends so they can start businesses they are passionate about, ones that will fight to make our communities strong yet again. In addition, it's time to start supporting those in our community and empowering them to grow and succeed in their businesses. If we support local business owners on a regular basis, we can ensure they keep their employees supported and well paid for. Remember, corporate America does not care about you, your family, or your community. They only care about one thing: profits. We need business owners who care about their employees and will fight for our communities. At the end of the day, we wield much more power than we realize. As I learned by watching a group of amateur investors bring down Wall Street legends during the GameStop short squeeze, if we join together in unity, there is not much we can't accomplish. So, the choice is yours. Will the American dream remain a nice memory from the past, or will we stand up to fight and revive a better America for our children? Cheers.